We're almost 2.5 years into the launch of the new Ultimate Universe for Marvel. But where are the action figures? Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors Podcast. I'm your favorite host, Jordan, and today we're going to be talking about a potential Build-A-Figure wave based on the figures from the new Ultimate books. Now, we have gotten quite a few looks from the original Ultimate books. We've gotten, most recently, Iron Man. We've seen Wolverine. We've gotten a few caps over the years, a Spider-Man here and there, Build-A-Figure Green Goblin. Personally, I'd like to see them continue making figures from the original Ultimate books. I do think they gave you a lot of different alternate outfits and designs for characters from those. I do know there are certain feelings about the original Ultimate Universe, particularly where it led to with such iconic comic book moments as Daredevil drowning, the Blob eating the Wasp, and Doctor Strange getting his head popped like a balloon. However, I do think, amidst all that, there was some good stuff. So while we wait on those, this is my pitch for what we could be seeing for the new books. Now, I'm not sure who out there is reading those. Personally, I've really been enjoying the new Ultimate books, Spider-Man, the Ultimates, all the stuff they're doing there. I'm always curious on the intersection of those out there who are reading current books with collecting figures. But if you have been reading that series, you know that there's quite a few different looks we could be getting. So here's some ideas that I could see coming up. The first one that I'd like to see would be, obviously, the Maker. Now, if you've read these books or are familiar, the Maker is the original Reed Richards from the Ultimate Universe, crossed over to the main universe, and has become a villain since then. And I do think we're due for a Maker just in general, but he's a pretty big part of these comics. And I would see him, I hope, getting that updated, like Renew Your Vows type body. Dakota knows I'm a huge fan of that body, and I think he should be on it. I hope they don't cheap out on him. You could give him his, of course, helmeted head. I think an alternate head with like a deformed look on it, because there's something that comes up in the books with that. Maybe some stretchy arms, but I definitely think we're going to need the Maker in this wave. While there's several figures on this list, I have a list that has only two things on it: those who are subscribed and those who are not while watching. And if you're watching, it's real easy to subscribe, and if you're watching, chances are you like us, right? Otherwise, you'd turn this off. So please be subscribing. Very easy for you and helps us out. Next, we would need to be getting an Iron Lad. And I guess a bit of spoiler alert if you haven't read these books, but you figure this out pretty quick and early on. But Iron Lad in these books is actually Tony Stark. So they do a bit of a twist on him, but you know, you always need new Iron Man. So even if you're not a fan of the Ultimate books or this look specifically, it'd be a new Iron Man look for people to get. Hopefully an alternate head, some blasters, things like that. But he's a pretty big part of the story, so I think we definitely would be needing an Iron Lad. Another important character is Doom. And this Doom looks a little bit different. He's got more of a blue look rather than the traditional green you get with Dr. Doom. Doom in these books is actually from the original Ultimate Universe, because what we see is the Maker has tampered with things to change events to shape the universe the way he wants it to be. So we could get a new look for Doom, and he's a pretty big part of working actually with the Ultimates as the books go on. I think it makes sense too, because next year I feel like Doom's going to be very popular in the lead up to Doomsday, so we can always get more Dooms. If I don't like him, I can make him look like a Doombot, and there we go, got a new look for him. The fourth figure that is maybe a bit of a unique choice, I would say, is going to be Cyph. Now, Cyph is also pretty prominently in these books, and what I think the selling point could be is that she looks pretty close to her 616 attire, really the red and white, the red cape. I think we're really due for a new Cyph. I have the A-Force one. It really just doesn't cut it for me. I think it's a little not quite substantial enough, as Dakota might say. I think we could use a bulkier Cyph. I don't know if it'd quite be on the Power Princess body. Maybe that's too much. You let me know if that's going too far. I think it'd be a good way to fit her into this line, to get people who maybe aren't into the Ultimate books to buy it, but also give you a new Cyph and an important character from that story. The next figure is probably the one I would be most excited for, and this is a Green Goblin. And Green Goblin in the Ultimate new books, he has more of what I think they were kind of going for in the original Raimi movies, where he's kind of more armor, a little more streamlined, but it does not have the Power Rangers looking mask. So It captures kind of the tactical look with the goblin-y, purple and green color schemes. And I've really been into the Spider-Man books. There's a whole lot of characters I think we could see from those Spider-Man books. If you'd like to see more of that, let me know. I could do a whole breakdown of characters I want to see from the Ultimate Spider-Man series. But Green Goblin is the one I'd want to see the most, and this one would come with an alternate head. Won't spoil who he is, but I'll let you go read to find that one out. But Green Goblin, for me, would be a must from this wave. And finally, it can never go wrong in a Marvel Legends wave with a Wolverine, and Wolverine always sells. And this look was one that I think people were liking for the new Wolverine. He's got more of that full mask, like the orange and black motif. His story is remixed a little bit, but Wolverines always sell. So Hasbro, if you're hesitant on could we sell a whole new Ultimates wave, you got a Wolverine in there. Everybody loves Wolverine, and he won't come with the Build-A-Figure piece. So you can sell as many of them as you want. And that Build-A-Figure is going to be a figure that Dakota would be super excited about if we were talking. And that figure is Armor. So Armor is a pretty big part of the new Ultimate X-Men books. And Armor is a figure that I think we're due for. It's a slightly different look in these comics, kind of more of a samurai type head. But I think you could get an alternate head that looks more like traditional Armor. I believe at times her armor shifts into other stuff, but you get kind of more of that bulked up power suit look, and I think you could use that pretty much as your general comic Armor. Again, making it so that if you're into the books, you could buy these. Even if you just like the looks of them, you could check those out too. An alternate Build-A-Figure could maybe be the Hulk, where Hulk is kind of more like Buddha monk Zen-like, where he's studied like psychology, spirituality. He's got all his parts under control. Bald, he's got a little spot in the middle of his head, so maybe that could be a look, but something tells me people might like Armor more. Those are some thoughts on potential figures we could get in a new Ultimates wave. You let me know in the comments below what figures you would pick for this wave. If there is a demand for these, I think there is. But if you'd like to see more, I have no problem coming up with more Ultimate figures in a wave. So please be liking, sharing, and subscribing. And until next time, as always, stay strong. If you're still watching this, you're likely aware that Dakota and I are in the midst of a civil war. While we started as friends, allies, even like brothers, we're now head-to-head and locked in mortal battle. Whose side are you on? Okay, there you go. Hopefully you can make something out of that. A little quick microwave. A microwave. Maybe we could start doing that. Hello, folks, and welcome to a Strong Collector's microwave. It's not the kind you can heat up food in, but it is a quick pitch for a Build-A-Figure wave. Let's talk about it.